I'll just give it a minute for everyone to join in. Hello, everyone joining in. Let's see if I can stop sharing for a second, making sure everything is coming in. Great. Welcome, everyone. We'll just get started in about a minute. Fantastic. Feeling excited for this one. We have a good crew, lots of registrations.
Yeah, we're all excited on our end. So thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, it's been great to get to know you guys. Especially, yeah, I've been, at it for about 6 months, and it's been great to get to know everyone in the industry, all the partnerships, etc. We have Cass joining as well.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Fantastic. Great, that's going well. Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and welcome to the Direct Booking Masterclass webinar. I'm Santiago from IGMS. We're joined by Louis from Safely and Bobby from Jervis Systems. It's a really great, complete panel of people covering different aspects of helping you create and grow and ensure your direct booking website. It's been a topic a lot of hosts have been asking me about when I'm talking to different hosts, and I'm super excited to get started. So let's jump right in. To get started, so our agenda, I'm starting off with the IGMS presentation. We're going to learn how to create and grow your own direct booking website. Then Safely is going to touch on ensuring your direct booking website and also the rest of your stays across all the platforms. And Jarvis is going to touch on different types of automations to help you both with your hosting as well as with specifically your direct booking website. So really excited on that. And then we'll leave some room at the end for Q&A. So who am I? I'm Santiago. I'm an IGMS Senior Marketing Manager. I'm leading partnerships, user research, email campaigns, social media, and whatever fun task we like to collaborate on. In my personal life, I like boxing. So if you see me with a black eye, that's probably from that. And DJing house music. And to balance it all out, I like to go hiking. So you learned a little bit about me. Now it's your turn to learn a bit about you. So I have a bit of a poll that's gonna be coming up. How do I pull this up again? One sec. Maybe I'll stop sharing so I can pull up this thing. So the poll will ask you 4 different questions. The last two are for people just that have a direct booking website. But I would love to learn more about how many stays you have. Do you have your own booking website? It's also really good. I want to get a sense of what percentage of bookings are coming from your direct booking website so that other people can see as well to kind of gauge. Find that really insightful as well. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to submit not a few minutes. I'll give everyone, let's say, 15 more seconds. Submit the responses. Thank you, everyone. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll end the poll or share the results. And what do we see here? We got a nice almost 50-50 on people that have their own direct booking websites and those who don't. So it'll be great to be covering things to help those who already have it and those looking to build their first one. And then, yeah, that's what I was expecting too. A lot of people that have their own direct booking websites, it's either 10% or 10 to 20%. But I've been able to talk to hosts that have it 30 or above percentage of their direct bookings. So taking some of their advice, and I'll be sharing that with you as well. And then a lot of people using IGMS as well for their direct booking website. So I'm really excited to share with the people that don't use IGMS what it is like. So I'll stop sharing now. So for those who might not know what IGMS is, IGMS is the vacation rental property management software for hosts on the go. So we help short-term rental hosts who are overwhelmed and looking to scale through award-winning automation software and mobile app. We put your short-term rentals business on autopilot. So not only do we help you connect with Airbnb, Vrbo, Google Vacation Rentals, Booking.com, but we also help you automate all the tasks, such as maybe cleaning tasks or even automated messages to save you so much time. So on average, people are spending half the time that they are normally managing their vacation rental business. Now, on top of that, we've been a Preferred Plus partner with Airbnb every year, one of only 15 Preferred Plus partners. So we're trusted within the community and been around for over 9 years. So this is something that we've gained so much expertise in and only proven by our great reviews on Capterra and G2 as well. And part of integrating with Airbnb and Booking.com and across these booking sites is that we also integrate with your own direct booking website. Now, within that, the direct booking website, it'll allow you to also, we'll jump into why that is important. So why are direct bookings better than other types of bookings? I really like this slide. I really like this infographic. So what you get with your own direct booking website, you save 17% commission fees forever. And that includes any types of fees that Airbnb takes or Vrbo takes, and they might be changing. So it's something that you want to be able to start controlling and taking back control within your short-term rental business. This infographic explains it really well. Let's say you have a one-bedroom apartment, you do 3 nights of stays, and then you multiply that through. Just with a 3-night stay, that's $80 in your pocket. So you get 2 to 3 of these per month. Oh, yeah. Yes, Bobby?
Hey, Santiago, I think your screen stopped sharing for some reason.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. It should be working now. Thank you. Fantastic. So what are you looking to get with your own direct booking website? It's to save the commissions. And here on the infographic, you can see what I was explaining. So you get let's say you have a 3-night stay, $155 per night. Just in that one booking, you're saving $80 going right back into your pocket. A few times a month or a couple times a month, at the end of the year, that's $2,000 or over $2,000 going right back into your pocket. So that's one of the reasons hosts love direct bookings, but it's not the only one. I got to talk to a lot of different hosts. A lot of it is about taking back control from these other OTA websites. You never know if next week they might change their fees. You don't know if they might change their policies in a way that you don't agree with. So it's really important to start taking back control of your business, building out your own customer base and marketing list. So that's some of the main reasons why hosts really do love direct booking websites. Now, how do you build and grow your own direct booking site? So creating your website, I'm going to break it up into 3. So how to quickly set up a customizable website, how to integrate your website, how to customize your website, and then we'll look at growing your website. So building trust, driving traffic, and creating return traffic. Now, that's a lot to cover in this short period of time, but I just want to give you different areas to touch on so you can look at yourself and give you direction of what the next steps are to take. So creating your own website. There's a few different options here. Number one, you can hire developers. You can go on Upwork and go on Fiverr and find someone, or go to a professional software development team. This is really expensive. It's costly. It's hard to customize for yourself after when you want to do changes. I wouldn't recommend this for most hosts within this space. You can also create your own site with website builders like Wix or Squarespace. This is a better option. It does give you more customization, ability to control things. It is a bit faster than hiring developers, but it's not dedicated to helping hosts build a booking website, which has really specific needs. And it also will take more effort and time. The last option is using iJustMess's embedded platform and website builder. We help you build a direct booking website within an hour, which is really incredible. And I'll show you how, because it is hard to believe. And then you can start taking your own direct bookings. And we have the expertise and knowledge to execute a direct booking website for hosts in the short-term rental industry. So what does this look like? This is what one of our examples of a website does look like. You can already see aesthetically super pleasing. The UI is something that guests would be really familiar with, and feel comfortable booking through your website. And this is on the mobile version, so we can be native to mobile and desktop at the same time for you. Along with that, how do you actually create your website? So what makes it so easy is that we pull all your information auto-populate it from Airbnb. So you don't have to read descriptions or upload photos, etc. We can start pulling that data and help you set up your website within 1 hour. Then you can choose your domain, customize your website, and do ongoing hosting and customization. So from this, how the ongoing hosting customization works, it can fit into one of our existing plans, which is our Pro plan, which is quite affordable, anywhere between $19 to $30 per month per property. So something I would definitely recommend looking at. And we also have add-on options to do continuing if you're using one of the other plans that isn't the Pro plan. So there's definitely things I would recommend looking into. And what if you already have your own website? You can also integrate with the rest of your ecosystem using IGMS direct booking widget. This is something that lets you then not get double booked if you get booked on Airbnb, and lets the whole ecosystem go back into one solid platform so you don't have to be jumping around and make your business scalable and easy to use. Now, you know how to create your own website. For everyone that already has their own website, how do you grow your website? So talking to hosts and people that have managed over 100 properties, this is some of the information I was able to pull out. Number one is building trust, then driving traffic, and then getting repeat guests. So building trust, one of the things I recommend is be transparent, tell a story, give an about us, show who you are, how you got started, what you value. One of the biggest concerns when someone goes on your site is this a scam? Can I trust them, etc. If you show your face and you tell your story, you'll be so much more likely to build that trust and personal connection that they will more likely want to book with you. Plus, versus going on to, let's say, an Airbnb site, they'll have more of a personal human connection booking through your direct website. Number two, to build trust, share reviews. We don't say it nearly as well as our guests. I love that line. And that is a really great example of how to use reviews to then build trust when someone gets on the page. They see other happy guests. They're like, I'm like other guests. I want to be happy. And then they book through you. Now, you build trust. How do you drive traffic? There's many different tactics to go along here. So using social media and online advertising can really start driving more traffic. So you can tactics such as creating your own posts and accounts across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Posting in popular groups and forums, I would say, is really recommended. So Reddit, Facebook, TripAdvisor. And then create a Google My Business account so you appear in Google searches as well. This is all 3 different ways you can start using these different platforms. Along with that, I'd recommend running online advertising. Google search engine ads, so people are looking for vacation rentals in your area, is a really good thing to look into. Meta ads, you can really feature images using Instagram and Facebook and running ads there. And you can get fancy with retargeting ads. So people that visit your site, you can then get them advertisements to go across when they're looking through Google or even onto Meta, etc. How can IGMS directly help you grow your direct booking website is by connecting Google Vacation Rentals. So this is something Google has been really pushing on recently. It's this subsect of their platform that focuses on vacation rentals and allows users to browse through the different vacation rental options within their city. This is something I'm really excited about. I think it's going to continue to grow and it's going to add a lot more exposure to people's direct booking websites to then get more guests and get more people staying at your stay. So we show you how to grow your website. Now, the last step was repeat and guests will make your business easy. So getting those repeat guests and repeat customers, and you can start promoting them to people that come from your Airbnb. Maybe there's something, a note within the actual stay. Maybe you start offering deals or discounts for people that do stay and book through your direct booking website. So this is something I think Jarvis will touch on as well later on, but definitely something to start thinking about while you start thinking about growing your direct bookings from your stays. So we covered a few different things here. We covered how to create your own website. We covered a lot of different tactics on how to grow your own website, coming all together, especially focusing on how IGMS can help, especially with building your own direct booking website in 1 hour. And why do I say that? That's because we have a personalized program to actually help you build your direct booking website in just 1 hour. So a customer experience rep will sit with you, relieve any anxieties. They're an expert, and make sure that you get your direct booking website off the ground and have it set up ready to go. I think it's an incredible program to be set up and not have to push it off. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do a bit here, a bit there. You can just get it off the ground and commit. Now, we have an exclusive deal for the next 60 minutes. So let it go over 15 minutes after the webinar. But it's 50% off this program. So it's usually $199. Now it's only $99. If you're on mobile, I'll share the link. But if you have a phone, I recommend you scan the QR code. If you have any questions, you can also put it in the chat as well. And you can join hundreds of hosts who use IGMS to get thousands of direct bookings. We literally have hundreds of hosts using this direct booking website builder to make this happen. So yeah, that's everything from IGMS. I'll be happy to pass it along to Louis from Safely to talk about how you can protect your direct booking bookings and also the rest of your bookings and stays.
Santiago, thank you. That was a great presentation. Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
very important topic as well. So let me just share my screen, get into presentation mode. Okay, yeah, so as Santiago mentioned, it's really great to have a direct booking website. It's for all the reasons mentioned, from taking control of your guests, actually, when you're booking through an online travel agency, a booking channel such as Airbnb or VRBO, they maintain that guest relationship. And really, in addition to reducing your fees, it helps you take control of your customers. So we're Safely, and just and we've been working with IGMS for several years now, and really excited about some of the new programs that are coming out in the next month. My name is Louis King. I'm one of the co-founders of Safely, and I also head up our partnerships, particularly ones like this that are very in-depth partnerships. Santiago, I love that you gave a little bit about yourself as your introduction. So for me, yeah, I've been with Safely for about 10 years, one of the co-founders and working in the industry. My background is actually more in engineering and finance, and somehow I happened to get into the vacation rental industry or short-term rental industry and working in insurance. That a personal note, yeah, I have a couple of kids that keep me busy, and one of my hobbies is kiteboarding, which is, if you're not aware of it, it's a big kite, and you go out when it's windy on the water, and you have a lot of fun. So at Safely, what we like to say is we protect people and their assets. A lot of people have either a second home or even a third home, and these are some of your most valuable assets. They're worth a lot of money, and if they're destroyed, it's not a good thing. And so we like to say that we answer the questions of what happens when something goes wrong. Now we have a special program with IGMS, which I'm going to go to a little bit more detail on in a bit, but we basically cover up to $500,000 of embedded commercial insurance in this program. And we're covering damage to the home's contents and the structure or dwelling. And the distinction between those two is the structure is everything that is fixed in your home. So your walls, your floors, your cabinets, all your built-ins. And the contents is everything that's not fixed. Easiest way to think about it is if you open up all the windows in your home, turn it upside down and shake it, everything that falls out, that's your contents. Our policies are, they're covered with the property manager and the homeowner. I know some of the people on this call today would qualify as both, but I did see that there are some that manage 10 homes or more, that you're probably managing for someone else. So the policies actually cover you as the property manager as well as your homeowners. There's no deductible, and it replaces the guest deposit. And we're going to talk a little bit more about actually how this works in with your direct bookings and why it's important. And it's active only when the guest is in your home. You're not paying for any insurance when you don't have any guests there, and it sits on top of the regular homeowner's policy. So it's actually a primary policy, and we're your first line of defense. So really protecting the homes has really never been easier. And we're here to talk about direct bookings, so I'm going to focus on it. And well, we already talked about as a primary insurance. The booking channels, we'll cover this in a second. They provide some protections, and I say some protections, but not all. And that's really why you want to protect your direct bookings. You want to, because you don't have anything in place. You don't. And so you want some sort of primary insurance policy that's covering the active stays. You want something where it's actually easy to file a claim. Even among the booking channels, it's not always easy to file a claim. So, and what's nice about your direct booking is you don't have to fight with your OTAs or your booking channels for claims. We actually have a really easy booking process where it's 60 days to file claims. A majority of our claims are actually paid in under 4 days, and it actually takes under 5 minutes to file that claim. We like to say that we simplify operations, and you'll see in a minute when you sign up. In October, we're going to have a deeply embedded program with IGMS, and you're going to be able to file claims from directly within IGMS. It's really cool. But more importantly, this actually also reduces your friction with your booking, so you don't have to deal with damage deposits. And one unique aspect of our policies is actually we don't require guest involvement. And I'll say most of the time, occasionally we do have to talk to the guest, but otherwise we're not involving that guest. We're kind of taught at an early age to deny things in schools, at least here in the US, and people, it makes it what might have been a really pleasant vacation experience into a negative one when you have to confront that guest at the end of the stay. I mentioned that the booking channels, they have policies, but again, they're not necessarily your friend. So everyone talks about Airbnb and air cover. Quite frankly, some of our property managers, they have great experiences with air cover. They've figured out how to navigate the system, but a lot have not. Payments are at the discretion of Airbnb. You only have 14 days to file a claim. It actually you require guest involvement, and there's that friction that I talked about. And I was recently on a panel at another conference last week, and we were talking about the guest experience, and everyone kind of looked at me. It's like, well, how does insurance improve the guest experience? And well, it flipped it around. When somebody goes into a home, and these are generally nice homes, it's not like a hotel where the furniture might be a little bit more indestructible. In a home, it's generally nicer furniture. That's why people actually stay in vacation homes, but it can also cause anxiety. And my kids are a bit older now, but when they were younger, I would go into a vacation home or short-term rental and immediately take things off the shelves or move them around to get them into a safe place. We called it a little bit of vacation anxiety. And stuff happens, accidentally, but when something happens, it's really powerful when you, as the manager of that home or the owner of that home, can tell that guest, we have insurance in place and we understand accidents happen. We've got you covered. And suddenly you can turn what was a really negative experience into a positive experience and actually improve your reviews. And that's the goal. We're trying to actually, one of the goals is to avoid bad reviews, keep your high statuses and get that repeat business. One last point of Airbnb, I have a quote down here. Oops, it's a quote from or copy from their website, actually, that it is not a substitute for personal insurance. So just be cautious out there, even when you're looking at the booking channels and what they offer. I say it's like they're out there for themselves, but it's important to understand that this is there for them and not necessarily for you. So I talked about the Safely and IGMS insurance program that is coming out. Actually, it's going to be released in literally a couple of weeks. We're doing the final testing on it. We were pushing really hard to have it released today. I'm sorry it's not, but it's in October. This is actually really cool. From directly within IGMS, you're going to be able to select, actually insure any of your properties. And these are currently US properties. We're releasing to Europe and Canada in the next several months. But contents and dwelling coverage will be from $1,500 up to $25,000 of coverage. And you'll also be able to add on bodily injury as an optional add-on, $100,000 to $500,000. What's really cool about this is we do have some other embedded programs working with some other systems, but this is very unique. Actually, nobody else has this particular program. It's very flexible. It's very expanded. Most of the others are just on the contents of dwelling. So actually, I'm very excited about this. I've been working with Alex for quite some time now, and it's really cool. So you will actually, the sidebar that you see on the right-hand side, you'll see that on reservations, be able to select this program from any reservation, assign it to your properties, including booking channels. And once you're activated, you'll see the coverage on every reservation, how much coverage you have, as well as you'll be able to file a claim and from directly within. So currently other programs that we have with other systems, you actually have to come over to our system to file the claims. So what's really exciting about this is it's all within IGMS, and I'm really excited about the work that we've done with the team there. And like I said, it's going to be really easy. You're just going to select your, for the reservation screen, select the coverage options, and then you select sign up, and you'll be ready to go within about a day. We do have kind of a day delay in there for coverage, just because you can't, we don't want you signing up on the day of. Once it's connected, we receive all the reservations automatically, whether it's direct from various other booking channels, Vrbo, and also Airbnb. And so that all flows in. We pick up changes in reservations, so reservation dates, as well as cancellations. So you don't have to do anything on your side to monitor the insurance. The coverage happens, and it happens on every reservation within the channels that you've selected. We also, this is also a powerful marketing tool, especially for those property managers that want to grow. It's if you have nicer homes, it goes a long way to say that you're protecting that home with 100,000 or 500,000 of insurance. It really helps homeowners overcome those anxieties of renting to strangers over the internet. Because chances are they've read some story about something that's happened, and usually an Airbnb rental, the stories come out every 2 to 3 months or so, and they've read it and they're scared. They think that every other rental something's going to happen. Reality is it's a lot less, but in their mind, it's a lot. It can happen more often, and so you want to kind of wow them and put them at ease. So again, why is just lastly, a couple final points. What is insurance needed? It's booking sites for the policies are written for the booking sites. Homeowners policies often don't cover commercial rentals. Damage waivers, some of them out there don't cover intentional damage, and we actually do. And then damage deposits are administrative overhead. So what happens if something does go wrong? Our claims said take only 5 minutes. We don't need the guest agreement. And then what do we cover? We're covering pet damage, bodily injury if you opt for that, theft. We like to say stupidity, and I'm going to talk about one stupid action in a moment, as well as intentional acts. Just if somebody takes a bat and decides to go crazy, Halloween's coming up. If everyone's seen The Shining, maybe they take a bat and go around the house. Well, we'll cover that. But typically and it's unique among our plans, typically insurance cannot cover intentional acts. You can't crash your car because you want a new car. You can't smash your laptop because you want a new laptop and get insurance. Well, similar to a lot of plans, you can't. If a guest owns that policy, intentional acts can't be covered, but we can with these programs. But sometimes easier to say what's not covered. We're not, you're not covering the home for personal use. Those stays are generally excluded automatically. Acts of nature. So yeah, if there's wind or rain damage, we're not, and also as well as wear and tear. You have a rental home, you should expect a certain amount of wear and tear to carpets, and we're not covered there. We're covering those things. We're there for the things that actually guests cause damage. So I just want to finish up on two of our claims. One called Puff Magic Dragon, where a guest actually used a trash can as an ashtray. We won't say exactly what they were smoking, but we have our suspicions, so we call it Puff the Magic Dragon. It caused a fire, and the sprinklers went off. It was a condo unit, and it flooded several other condo units both below and to the side of this unit, causing over $100,000 in damage. The limits on this particular policy was $100,000 in dwelling and $10,000 in contents, and that's where you see that 110 number. So these things happen. We actually have had, I think we have one fire claim per year at least, or several fire claims per year that are specifically in condos that were damages other condos. We talked about stupidity. We like to have our rooftop skier. There was a party at a house and somebody decided it was a good idea to, or might be a fun idea to ski down the roof of the house. And they did. On the way down, they hit power lines to the house, and it actually caused a power surge. It blew the breakers and all kinds of lights within the house, as well as some of the neighbors. I know a bad pun here, but shockingly, it did not cause more damage, and the skier was not hurt. It only caused about $1,500 in damage, but it did actually. But it's one of these cases where it's like you just have to kind of say, like, "Wow, this could have been a lot worse," and now it makes for a funny story. And that's it. So those are very quick run through. Feel free to reach out to me or any of the other team for questions. And I think it looks like there are a few questions. Okay, so the first one I see, does coverage vary at all by state? No, the coverage policies we have are the same for every state. And you might be asking about California because of wildfires and earthquakes, whatever else. We're just covering the guest caused damage. So it's universal across all of the states. The only differing is once in a while in the prices, although we have it standard for IGMS, but if you come to us directly, we have some different price changes due to taxes, but that's the only different. And yes, also, someone else asked, what company is underwriting these policies? We have a company called Obsidian. They're our underwriter, and we have a reinsurer called Greenlight. And yeah, so we have a big company behind us, just in case there's a lot of big claims. Okay, does Safely still require the manager to have 10 units minimum to get on this feature? No. And Nadia, thank you for bringing up that point. Actually, that is very special with the program with IGMS. We do not have that restriction anymore with this program. If you come to us separately for some other programs, yes, that's in place, but specifically with the embedded program that is going to be in the next couple of weeks, we do not have that restriction. Sure, I didn't see there's a minimum number of stays. No, there's not a minimum number of stays. Okay, so you say I rent short term, probably about 40% of the year. In California, the cheapest quote I have right now is $10K for a year. Are you suggesting I can get regular homeowners insurance and safely and be covered? Yes, actually, you can have your regular homeowners, and you just, once this is in place, you're covering just the stays, just the stays that are your commercial rentals. So if it's 40% of the year, that's fine. And then Andrea asked, does Safely cover properties outside the US? Currently, no. Alex has been pushing very hard on this. I'm going to have an update on Europe later this week, actually, but we're hoping to have Europe actually active later this year, and Canada as well. Okay, and the cost of insurance, it varies. It's anywhere from about $6 to about $12 or $15 per night on higher policies. But those will be displayed directly within IGMS.
Thank you, Louis.
Okay.
That's fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
glad to get to answer all those questions live. And I'll pass it on to Bobby from Jervis Systems.
All right, thank you, Santiago. Can you guys see my screen now? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Not right now.
Not anymore. But you had it a second ago, yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me put it into full screen mode here.
Yeah, Louis, I'm really excited about the integration with the IGMS, especially that you're using features that you haven't done with other partners. So
Yes.
kudos
Yeah.
to that.
I'm really excited about this. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Hopefully it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
All right, Santiago, sorry about that. Okay, everyone can see my screen?
Yeah, it's now published.
Okay, great. All right, thank you everyone for joining. Thanks Santiago and the IGMS team for setting this up. Thanks Ivan and Alex. I see that you guys have jumped in. I saw several Jervis customers in the participant group as well. Thank you all for joining as well. I'm Bobby Verghese with Jervis Systems. Lauren, my colleague from Jervis, is on as well. We'll tag team answering as many of your questions as possible. So today we're going to talk about mastering direct bookings with automation. Okay, so how can we support direct bookings that you have? Right, so we want to optimize your website, want to offer incentives and upsells. We'll talk about some of the additional capabilities that we'll be coming up with or coming into Jervis over the next couple of weeks, some that have been integrated, some features that are coming very soon. You want to be able to streamline the communications, make sure that your guests are getting the communications exactly as you expected, and all the details that you need, trying to make sure that it's reducing your streamlining your workflow and just making sure that your processes are much more efficient and set up for your guests as well. And lastly, where Jervis especially shines is where we want to help set up your smart devices. We started out with smart lock, smart access integration. We've done a lot more integration over the years with smart home automation, garage doors, thermostats, lock boxes, a lot more devices that I'll talk about here more in a second. So what are some of the challenges of automation, right? So many property managers face different challenges. Most property managers have at least one smart device in their property, which could be the smart lock. But what we've seen over the last couple of years is that it's not just the smart lock. More and more property managers are looking for garage door automation. They're looking for thermostat automation to control the temperatures. They're looking for smart lighting, smart lock boxes, in case you want to have a backup key on site, just in case the smart lock has problems for whatever reason, right? So there's several challenges that come along with it. With automation, there's the complexity or the setup challenges. It could be complex to get it all set up yourself. Different apps, how do you get all these devices talking together or triggering exactly when you want it to trigger? How do you troubleshoot some of the issues that come up with the automation, right? Are you going to get on chat or call Schlage or Yale or any of these device vendors up? There's the price that comes along with even the manual automation, right? So we have a lot of a lot of property managers who are very tech savvy, excellent coders, excellent scripters, but even if you can do this work yourself, you have to ask yourself, are you saving yourself any money? Because there's still a lot of time and effort and energy that goes into creating those manual workarounds for automation yourself versus using solutions like Jervis. Okay? Another challenge that we've heard from a lot of property managers is that some solutions have a minimum number of properties or listings that you have to have. And that's often a barrier to entry, right? So with Jervis, it doesn't matter if you have one property, hundreds of properties, or thousands of properties. We treat all our customers the same. You can sign up equally directly from our website, and getting set up is very, very, very easy. So how can you maximize your bookings while simplifying work with Jervis, right? Our goals are to always maximize security, right? Our default is to create a different PIN code for every single reservation, right? So what used to be kind of a standard or unofficial standard, I guess, is a lot of property managers were using smart locks, but they were creating one code and just giving that same code to their guests with each reservation, right? So now previous guests could come back in technically with the same code, right? So a lot of insurance companies are now requiring that you're using a smart lock and requiring that it's a different code per reservation, just for safety, security purposes. We automate the property access, right? When the reservation flows into us from IGMS, we schedule the code to work only during the reservation time. So even if you sent that code to your guest early, the guest can only access the property starting from the check-in time until the checkout time. It's not just the smart locks, right? So we put in the front entry, it could be a smart lock, but if you have garage doors, you have a front door, another lock for your garage door, you can give them access to all of these devices, whether it's a PIN code device or using our mobile app that's shown there, or our web app, which I'll explain a little bit more in future slides. If you had these mixed devices, let's say smart locks, smart thermostats, smart garage doors, lock boxes, lights, all of that, you can manage all these devices in one place, even give your guests access to these devices if you want to, all from one easy-to-view dashboard. No more sending out invite links from the August or Yell app or from the MyQ app. And managing access control from multiple different directions. You can have it all automated from within Jervis. You can manage settings for a variety of devices. I'll show you some of our highlight or most popular device categories in a future slide here. Then you can also set up automated access instructions. So that is through IGMS's message templates and the scheduling capability, you can use the door code variable to and input that door code variable into your IGMS templates, and IGMS will just inject the code that Jervis creates and stores into the message right before it gets sent out to the guest, right? So completely removes the chance of any errors of wrong code being sent to the guest, and any other possible issues that could come up. So keyless guest access. You can give guest access with our unique set PIN codes per reservation. This streamlines the access. By default, we opt to create the PIN code based off the guest phone number. That's what a majority of the property managers prefer. But we do have an option that you can choose to have a random code per reservation, right? If that's your option, you can set this on a per property basis. And now Jervis will create a random code every single time. Okay? You can secure your property because you don't have to give out the physical keys, or keeping the same code for all your guests, like I mentioned before. We do even have an offset capability. So this is if you get a lot of requests for early check-in or late checkout continuously for the property, and you just don't want to scramble at the last minute going adjusting codes. You can tell Jervis, hey, can you put the code on the lock 1 hour early, 30 minutes early, and then leave it 15 minutes, 30 minutes after checkout. You can even put it for a couple of hours in either direction if you want. And if you apply these offsets, Jervis will do this for every single reservation that flows in for your property. So this is what I mentioned earlier. This is one of our most popular features, is giving the guests access to the garage door. So we are one of the only partners that have a direct official integration with MyQ, Genie Aladdin, and overhead doors, right? So if you are using our mobile app, which is pictured here, you don't have to ever give out the clickers to your guests, right? The guests, you can tell your guests to download the Jervis Systems mobile app or go to our web app URL, which is a very generic URL on purpose. We've got some great upgrades coming to that where you can white label it as well. But the guest never has to sign up for a Jervis account. They just have to put in their phone number or email address that's associated with their reservation, and they're automatically logged in, right? So I'm simplifying it a little bit there. For security purposes, we do text them a one-time code just to make sure that they're in physical possession of that phone. They have access to that email. But once they input that information, they're logged in, and they see the devices that you assign to that property for the duration of the reservation, and that's it. Never before, never after. right? So now on top of the PIN codes, they can just click a button to unlock that door, lock the door. Garage doors, you never have to give out the clickers to your guests again. The guests can just click a button to open the door as they're driving up to the property. Imagine if they have kids, they just went grocery shopping, it's raining outside, snowing outside. They don't have to rush in through the front door. They can just have the garage doors opening as they're driving up to the property. Along with the garage doors, we have smart lights, lock boxes, thermostats, so much more, all in one easy to view, easy to use UI. Another very popular feature with Jervis is to automate thermostats within your properties, right? So we are integrated with all the major brands that are out there: Google Nest, Ecobee, Honeywell, Sensi, Sensibo, Misa, all the major brands that are out there. We have two modes when it comes to thermostats: guest mode and vacant mode. Think of guest mode as what is that baseline temperature that you want every guest to walk into, right? 68 degrees, 70 degrees, whatever you prefer as a property manager, Jervis will set that before the guest checks in. You can even opt to say, apply a thermostat offset, a check-in offset that says, okay, I want you to start configuring the temperature 1 hour up to 12 hours before check-in. So if it's a bigger unit, it's going to take longer to heat or cool to that exact temperature. So Jervis will make sure it gets to that exact temperature before the guest checks in. We have a vacant mode as well, where now you can say, okay, when the property's empty for a day or a couple of days, what do you want the temperature to be, right? In the summertime, you don't want the air conditioning on too high when the property's empty. In the wintertime, you don't want the heat on too high. Jervis will automate setting the temperature to the most energy efficient option, and we will keep it at that temperature until the next guest checks in. So we also have a feature called guardrails. This was highly requested from property managers, so we worked it out how to implement this. But this is a way to virtually limit the minimum and the maximum that a guest can set without having to lock the thermostats, right? Guests don't like the thermostats locked. So this will allow you to see, is someone abusing the system? Are they misusing the system? Intentionally, unintentionally, who knows? But if someone goes above your maximum, Jervis will throttle it down. If someone goes below your minimum, Jervis is going to throttle it up, right? So we're checking every couple of hours to prevent abuse or misuse of the system. And there's ways to snooze this if you're using the property yourself in between stays, or you have maintenance coming, cleaning crews coming later, things like that. So one of the features that's just about to be released is our guest Wi-Fi capability. We've partnered with all the major manufacturers, Ubiquiti, Netgear, and TP-Link. So this will allow you to offer a custom branded portal for your guests. So similar to when you go to a Marriott or Hilton, you have to log in before you get access to the Wi-Fi. Same concept applies here. The guests will have to put in their last name and their door code, which they're used to using already to get in and out of the property. The guests will have to put in that information. You can even add a second option where you can ask the guests for some additional information, like their phone number, email address, to be able to do direct booking to them in the future. So like I mentioned, we partnered with the major brands that are listed here. More to come. We have a partnership in the works with Amazon Eero products, and more devices to come as well. So this is kind of a quick highlight of the portal. You can upload your own logo, so the customer sees your branded logo. It continues to keep using the Access My Property domain name. So it's a very generic domain name. To your customers, this looks like it's your solution that you've implemented. You can tell after they have authenticated, provided the information you want. You can choose where do you want them to go. You can even put your own branded message as well. So if you did opt to collect some of the details, like the guest phone number, email address, things like that, on the Jervis portal, you'll see this information. You can actually download it via CSV as of now. In the future, we're going to add additional capabilities where you can connect up Constant Contact or MailChimp or any of the marketing sites that are out there. We will also be integrating our own marketing capability, so you can just direct send directly from Jervis as well. So smart device automation, we pretty much at this point integrate with all the major vendors that are out there. If we're missing anything that's, or if there's new vendors that pop up, we have a feature request option on our website where you can just put in the details, put in, if you have a link to the company or any details, put in as much information as you can, and our team will look into it and check the feasibility of integrating with that new partner. But these are the major categories that we talked about. The only one I didn't speak to before, I'm just going to highlight here quickly, is hot tubs and pool heaters. So we've got an integration with Shelly products. More hot tub and pool heater companies to come later this year into next year. Well, we really like Shelly products because their devices, you can get the parts for less than $50 total. You just have to find an engineer, a pool engineer that knows how to install this equipment. But we, just like the indoor thermostats, Jervis can now control the pool heater to turn on before the guest checks in, so it gets to your desired temperature, and then automatically turn off the pool heater hot tub after the guest checks out. So no more crazy electric bills or high electric bills because those systems were kept running. So control all from all in one place. These are just some of the brands that we support. We support a lot more brands, but it eliminates you having to log in or control devices from multiple places. You can control it all from within your Jervis dashboard or using our web app or our mobile. And securely share access. So I mentioned this a little bit before, but you can give this as an option to your guests if you prefer to, right? So some property managers just have a smart lock and they just prefer PIN codes. That's okay. We create the PIN codes and you can store it with IGMS, and you can automate the workflow from there. If you want to give your guests more and more control, this is where our mobile app and our web app comes in. We are releasing this week our guidebooks capability as well, which is automatically integrated into our web app and mobile app capability. So now you can also configure details you want to give the guest about your property, emergency information, attractions in the area, restaurants you recommend, things like that. So we have the domain name currently, accessmyproperty.com. We also have a Spanish domain that's a translation of this URL as well. We have a French domain name, a German domain name, and several other languages upcoming as well. Thank you again for allowing us to present, Santiago and the IGMS team. We have a promotion for anyone that's signing up where you can get 50% off your first 2 months with this coupon code, IGMS Direct. If you have any questions, you can always contact us directly from our website, jervis.systems/contact. And like I said, you can also do feature requests as well. We love ideas, whether it's a new product or solution or vendor you want us to connect to, or if you have, or if you're using a feature that we already have, but you'd like to have an additional capability with it. We love ideas, we love features or feature requests. So please feel free to send those along. All right, let me pause there. I'm going to turn it over, or let me pause there for any questions.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Yeah, everyone feel free to put up questions. If you can stop sharing, I can put up the Q&A slide as well.
Yep, just did.
Fantastic.
Hey, Kwame, I see Kwame's one of our customers. Okay.
Great.
Santiago, I think this one's for you.
Can we send email text blasts encouraging Airbnb Vrbo guests to direct book, or can we download guest contact information to do it ourselves? So from my understanding, the Airbnb and Vrbo has some sort of policies for you not to like directly promote to them. But I can send more info and follow up with you on that. I put my email I'll share my email within the chat, and then I can get you more accurate information. But there are some limitations of actually directly promoting your direct booking site within the platforms itself. And then downloading guest contact information to do it ourselves. So like downloading the information from Airbnb, etc. I don't think that's available, but something I can definitely look into. If anyone can, feel free to chime in as well. I see another one saying, so are you integrating with IGMS? Can you use direct bookings instead of Vrbo or Airbnb? You can use direct bookings instead of Vrbo or Airbnb, but I recommend using all of them to integrate with your platform to get as much exposure for your stays, and to get as many bookings as possible. Hope that answers that question. Nadia, do we have to be a user of IGMS to sign up for the direct booking offering? No, feel free to jump on the direct booking offering. You can actually create a direct booking on your free trial. So I would you can start going through the offering, and they'll also help you set up an account. It's super quick and simple. And then you can pick up a pricing option that is affordable and makes sense for you. The next one's for Bobby. I see cost for Jervis. Maybe Bobby can jump on that.
Yeah, sure, Santiago. So our pricing is very straightforward. We have it's $5 a month per active device. Currently, if you go to our pricing page, I see Lauren's answering as well. Our pricing page has listing-based options that are coming. This is going to be released on October 1st as well. So this is for the property managers that have 2 or more devices or using multiple capabilities. Our white label web app solution, guidebooks, guest Wi-Fi. If you're using multiple features or multiple devices, this drops the cost per device down as well. And then you get access to multiple add-ons as well. So but if you're just using one device, Billy, it's $5 a month per smart device. So Billy has another question here. So does Jervis work with split systems? Yes, I imagine you mean for the HVAC units, split level or split air conditioning units. We do. So I believe some of those are the Celio type units or the Celio brand. But the bottom line is yes. If you look at our supported devices pages and our page and go to smart thermostats, it's got all the vendors that we support, and I believe you'll see several brands in there that are supporting split systems as well.
Great. I see one question. We probably maybe have time for a couple more questions, but can we get the information from the IGMS calendar? I'm assuming you're referring to directly booking into the IGMS calendar from your direct bookings, so be able to see all of your bookings in one place. And yes, it integrates right into your unified calendar, so you can see your direct bookings, your Airbnb bookings, your Vrbo bookings all in one place, and make sure you don't get double bookings there. I'll do one more. So for current IGMS website users, is the Google Vacation Rentals free or an additional cost? Maybe Alex can jump in on this one. From my understanding, it's part of the integration. But Alex, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, the Google Vacation Rental is part of IGMS website. If you have a subscription for the website, the Google Vacation is free. You can invest your budget for SEO, just for appraise your listings in Google search for keywords. It's the same like a basic advertisement for the Google. But if you don't want to use, you can use just publish your listings and let's see how it will look like on the Google Maps.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. That's pretty much all our time. So I put in my email address within the chat, so feel free to copy paste that now. I know Louis also put in their email address in the chat. I think, yeah, you can also contact Jarvis as well. But yeah, this has been fantastic. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all the panelists and everyone from Safely and Jervis Systems as well. This has been great, and feel free to ask us any questions on the follow-up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Yep. And thank you, Santiago.
Fantastic. I'll leave. Yeah, Jarvis just put up their emails, so feel free to copy, paste those as well. And yeah, and scan the QR code. You have about 15 more minutes. Go. You guys got this. So